Hello lovely viewers, in today's video we are going to be cooking, and as you can see from here we are going to be preparing fried flour chips. So let's see our ingredients, but before that let's remember to wash our hands before cooking. So I'm going to do that right away and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back and I'll be cleaning my hands. Okay. First ingredient is our flour. This is it, and we use soft flour. Secondly, your nutmeg, your margarine, your onion and garlic, and then baking powder. The baking powder is actually optional, and you need your water. And lastly, you need salt. Okay, so let's begin. This is my cooking bowl, my mixing bowl, and then my sieve. So I'll be taking the flour. So we have to sieve it, because when you buy the flour from the market, you have all sorts of foreign materials in it. So you will have to sieve it. Sieve. So I'm done sieving my flour, and this is what we have here, our clear smooth flour. And then when I weighed it, this is 3.5 pounds. So secondly, we are going to be grating our nutmeg into it. So you grate. The nutmeg gives it a very nice flavor. Chips without nutmeg, I don't know. So you grate it into it very nicely. So you can grate about half a ball of nutmeg into it, because the flour is a lot and we want that flavor. So we are done with the nutmeg. Now we are moving on to the baking powder. Yes. When you are mixing your ingredients, you have to start with the dry ingredients, then you mix your wet, then you mix everything together. So we'll be taking just about 1/4 tablespoon into it. Yes. Just about 1/4. We have that. Now we are moving on to the margarine. So you take your margarine. This is 1 spoon. 2. We have our 4th spoon. You add your margarine, you're supposed to mix the nutmeg with the flour, so I'll do that around it, and then we'll mix seamlessly. Very nice. So this is what it looks like. So now this is it, and it's time to incorporate our margarine into it. So we're doing this. We are rubbing in. This is the rubbing in method. So you not rub it in with your palm, but you have to do it with your fingers, and you will lift it so that the air goes in. So you can get your ingredients and then you cook as I do. If not, you can just enjoy my video. Then after, you go and get your ingredients at the market, and then you're good to go. So I've added 2 more spoons of the margarine, and I'm continuing with my rubbing in. I'm done rubbing in my margarine into the flour, and this is what we have. Now, before we add our blended onion and garlic, I'm going to mix in the salt and the water. So this is about a half tablespoon. Another half. I'm adding another half tablespoon. So in total, this is 1.5 tablespoon of salt and water. So it has perfectly dissolved. The next thing we're going to be doing is we are adding our blended onion and garlic to the mixture. Do you know what the onion and the garlic does in the flour mixture? Flavor. Very, very sweet flavor. So it's very necessary when you're making your flour chips. Yes. So now we mix that in. You begin to see lumps, which is the wet onion and garlic mixing with the flour. So this is when you know it's time to add your salt solution. This is the quantity I have here. Yes. So you incorporate it in here, bit by bit. Yes. You do this until you get the correct consistency for your chips. Yes. And you don't have to knead too much, because if you knead too much, gluten will form and then it wouldn't be the right texture for your chips. So you have to do this very lightly and then you work it in. Yes. So as you can see, it's coming together. Then you add your water again. And you continue. So when you see your mixture this way, it doesn't mean you have to take a whole bucket of water and pour it in here. No, you end up getting a very soggy mixture. That will be very, very, very wrong. You have to do this bit by bit, slowly, and you work it in. Yes, that is how it's done. Do it slowly. You can work with both hands, or you can just do it one. So this is what we have at the moment. Let me show it to you guys. This is how it looks. It needs more water to go in here, so we'll be doing just that. Like I told you guys, as you work your mixture, If there's anything you need to add, you will know. So it turns out the water is too small, so you add a little. You have to be very careful with the water. Very, very careful. Because we don't want a soft dough to form. It has to be very thin. So our dough is coming together, as you can see. So we continue to work. Okay, it looks like we are almost done here. Almost done. Almost done. So I'm done mixing my dough, and this is what it looks like. Let me show you guys. This is it. It's not soft, it's not too hard. This is just how it should look. Now that I'm done with mixing the dough, we are going to continue with the work. And the next thing is we'll be rolling it out into the shapes we want. We'll be using, and then now we'll cut it out with the scissors. So let me just show you how we're going to do that. It's time to clear the working area. Now we have it beautifully. So we'll continue with our work. So this is the next item you need: your board, your chopping board, pastry board, your tray or a big plate, your rolling pin. Some people also use bottles for that. Your knife, your kitchen scissors. So we'll start working. This is what you do. To avoid it from sticking to the board, you spread a bit of flour, and then you take about this size, and now you roll it flat. When you have about this size, you take your knife and then you slice it through. Slice, just like that. You have it beautifully. So you take your kitchen scissors, and then you work your It's as simple as that, and you will have your chips. So you can decide to use a decorated scissors. Is it decorated? Serrated or something like that. to cut your chips, and then it will have a curvy edge or zigzag edge, or you just use your straight scissors and you have it looking like this. You can cut it in any shape that you want. We are continuing. And well, if you have this machine, this is the chips machine. It's the machine used to make this kind of chips. So you can put your dough inside and then you roll it. Let me demonstrate it. You roll it this way with the dough inside, and it will flatten it for you. It's as simple as that. So you continue cutting your chips. This is the point where you can make use of the children at home, the young ladies and gentlemen walking around the living room and scattering everything. You can just give them a kitchen scissors. Make sure it's not all that sharp, or you make sure you are observing them, and then you just let them do this. So at this point, this is what we have. After I use my scissors to cut my chips into these shapes, so this is what we have. We are going to move on to the frying. So let's get going. So this is my saucepan. Pour the oil. Yes, it's supposed to be deep frying. And I will test if our oil is hot. It's sizzling a bit, so I think it's okay. So you take your chips and then you drop it in. And then you stir it. You make sure you have to stir it together so that they'll separate. Yes. Each chip standing on its own, and they wouldn't be joined to each other. I think I'm good. So in the middle way, you give it another stir. It has been on for about 5 minutes and it's beginning to brown. I think it's almost ready. This is how it looks like right now. One thing you should note is when you take it off the fire while it's in your colander, it's still browns, so you don't have to wait for it to become very dark on the fire before. So this is it. This is our final chips. Ooh! As you can see, the chips is ready, looking sumptuous, crispy, mukbangy, and everything. Yes. So this is the end results, and let's see how it tastes. It's kind of a snack, so you can get your drink, and this is sobolo, a local drink. In Nigeria it's called zobo. In Fanti it's called bisab, and we call it sobolo. So I've got my sobolo and then my chips. It tastes so good that you can't imagine. It's at this point that while you're eating, you begin to sing. You're missing out. Okay, so I've come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you followed the steps and you'll be able to do it on your own. Make sure and please subscribe.